Ozer here. In this tutorial, I'll introduce you to the new caption-related features in Premiere Pro Creative Cloud, or CC. I'll be using some of the assets from my visual quick start guide to Premiere Pro CC, which is available now on Amazon. So in terms of perspective, the new caption-related features are primarily designed to help people edit captions that are already existing. As you'll see, you can create new captions with the caption tools here, but it's pretty tedious for anything longer than a 1 or 2 minute file. There are two ways to bring captions into Premiere Pro. You can bring them in embedded in a QuickTime file, or you can bring them in as separate SCC files, that's a centerist file, or Mac caption files, and that's what we're using here, the MCC file. You cannot, in the first version, bring in embedded captions in an MPEG-2 transport stream or any file that uses the MP4 or MP2 importer. So if you want to create a file that you can import into Premiere Pro with captions, I would suggest using QuickTime until Adobe adds the MPEG-2 and MPEG-4 import capabilities, which is definitely coming, just didn't make it into the first version. Okay, to display captions, let's go to my project file here, and so here's the QuickTime file with the embedded captions. Click here, and then you can see the captions in the file. The way to enable and disable this is in the Settings dialog here, Closed Caption Display, Enable, Disable, Settings. You can choose the standard. CEA 608 is NTSC, primarily the US, and then teletext is pretty much everywhere else. And then once you choose the standard, you can choose which stream. If there's one caption file, typically that's going to be in CC1. And then you have the same controls over here in the program monitor. So enable, disable, and then choose the settings. Now, if you're working with captions that are embedded in a file, let me delete this from the timeline. You'll see what you see when you bring it in. So here's the embedded QuickTime file. I'll drag that into the timeline. And as you can see, all three files come in. So here's the audio, here's the video, here's the caption file. One of the nice things about Adobe's implementation is that you can see the captions on the timeline. And those are them. And if the captions are embedded and you move the caption file, and I'm going to click the Option key on the Mac, it would be the Alt key on my Windows computer, and I drag this out of sync, you can see the out of sync message. So that's pretty nice too when you're working with embedded captions. And then to bring it back in, we just move the others into sync here. If you have captions in a separate file, and let's see what this would look like. I'll delete this here. Here's captions in a separate file. So typically first you would bring in the audio video file. Here's the captions file, and it looks the same on the timeline, but if you drag the captions file, there is no sync message because Premiere Pro doesn't know that they're supposed to be synced. You can group the files together, but once you group the files, you can no longer edit the captions files, as you'll learn how to do in a second. Okay, so let's go over to the embedded captions. To edit a caption, click the file, click the new captions frame here, and then here are the individual captions. So if you just want to clean up some of the text, you just click the text, which becomes active, and then change any word that you need to. You can also change the type here. You can change the alignment. You can add italics. You can underline. You can add a music note if you've got background music. You can change the background color. So we've got a black background color here. If I wanted to change that to red, I would just do that. You want to select both lines before you do that, so both lines show up. And you can do the same for text color. So choose the text color. This controls placement within the window, and this gives you even finer controls over the horizontal and vertical positioning. If you wanted to add a caption, you would click here to add the caption. And then if you wanted to create your own captions, let's come here. Let's create a new sequence. I'll drag that in. So here's our new sequence, no captions. Click here, close captions. It automatically assumes the video settings of the open sequence, so that should be good. Choose the standard, the stream, and then drag that here. Click the file, open the captions, and then start typing. When you're ready to add a new one, click here and you've got your new one. Okay, when you're ready to render, let's go back to this file here. I'm going to click Command M on my Mac. That would be Control M on my Windows computer. Here's the export settings screen. If you choose QuickTime, and here's a new tab in the export settings dialog. If you choose QuickTime, you can either create a sidecar file or embed the captions in your output file. If you choose a different format like H.264, which is an MP4 format, you would have the option to add the sidecar file, but you can't embed the captions into the MP4 file. As normal, click Q to add the file to the Adobe Media Encoder queue, or click Export to export directly. The online bonus chapter of my book is all about working with captions, so for more information, check out my visual quick start guide to Adobe Premiere Pro on Amazon or wherever you buy your technical books. I'm Jan Ozer. Thanks for watching.